Hello, friends and family. Welcome back to my channel. As a friendly reminder, please stick around to the end of this video because there is information you don't want to miss. What is being asked by the African leaders, first mentioned by Professor P.L.O. Lumumba, will shock you. Let's dive in. President Ibrahim Traore's key messages include demanding an end to neocolonialism and foreign interference. Traoré accuses France and other Western powers of perpetuating a form of neocolonialism that hinders Burkina Faso's development and sovereignty. He explicitly rejects Western condescension and calls for relationships based on mutual respect. Advocating for African self-reliance, Traoré promotes an endogenous development strategy, focusing on using local resources efficiently, reducing reliance on external inputs. He emphasizes that Africans must be the ones to solve their own problems. Calling for the denunciation of military agreements with France, Traoré urges African nations to break military cooperation agreements with France to build independent and strong armies. He has successfully expelled French troops from Burkina Faso. Exposing Western media narratives, Traoré claims that Western media outlets have been brainwashing African people and spreading narratives that benefit their interests, not Africa's. Strengthening ties with non-Western partners in a move to challenge Western influence. Traoré and other African leaders are increasingly looking to countries like Russia, China, and Turkey for partnerships based on equal terms. Traoré's messages resonate with many Africans who seek true independence and control over their destinies. He has become a prominent figure in the broader movement to challenge French influence in the Sahel region. If you are enjoying the contents of this video, please like and share it and subscribe to my channel to support its growth. Thank you. Let's continue. Ibrahim Traore, the leader of Burkina Faso, has been vocal about his vision for a revolution against what he perceives as neocolonialism and foreign interference, particularly from France. His message is centered around reclaiming national sovereignty and empowering Africa to chart its own course, free from external control. Key aspects of Traoré's revolution message towards France include rejection of French military presence. He has demanded the immediate withdrawal of all French military personnel from Burkina Faso, stating a desire to chart their own path. Condemnation of neocolonialism. Traoré accuses France of continuing to exert economic and political control over its former African colonies, even after formal independence. He cites the CFA, franc, and foreign companies controlling resources as examples. Call for self-reliance. Traoré advocates for African nations to be self-sufficient, including food security, and to build their own strong armies to ensure independence. Emphasis on national ownership. He has nationalized mines and announced plans to build Burkina Faso's first gold refinery, aiming to ensure the nation benefits from its resources. Inspiration from revolutionary figures. Traoré's message resonates with the legacy of Thomas Sankara, a former Burkinabe revolutionary leader who also challenged French influence. Pan-African unity. He envisions an alliance of Sahel states, a union of African nations aiming for collective resistance against imperialism. Traoré's message has gained traction, particularly among young Africans who are disillusioned with traditional leadership and perceived Western dominance. However, his rise has also been accompanied by concerns about authoritarianism and human rights, with some Western organizations criticizing his government's actions. It appears there are at least 3 African countries, and possibly more, that are following the path set by Burkina Faso's recent political upheaval. These include Mali, Niger, and potentially other states that have also experienced military coups and expelled French forces, as highlighted by BBC's report. Burkina Faso has undergone a series of coups, the most recent in September 2022, leading to the establishment of a military junta led by Ibrahim Traore. Both Mali and Niger have also experienced successful coups, with Mali's coup in 2021 and Niger's in 2023, leading to similar shifts in power dynamics. These 3 countries, along with other states, have formed an alliance to protect themselves from external threats, as well as to challenge the influence of former colonial powers. Following their coups, Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso have ordered French forces to leave their territories. The regional trade and security grouping, ECOWAS, had threatened to intervene militarily in Niger to restore civilian rule after the coup, but this was not carried out. The 3 countries have formed their own alliance, known as the Alliance of Sahel States, and have ended free trade in the region. In closing, here is a list of 18 African nations that are lined up and are making their voices heard, as they are beginning to follow the path of Burkina Faso and Ibrahim Traore, rejecting Trump loud and clear. 1. Angola. 2. DRC Congo. 3. Egypt. 4. Ethiopia. 5. Ghana. 6. Guinea. 7. Kenya. 8. Liberia. 9. Mali. 10. Niger. 11. Nigeria. 12. Rwanda. 13. South Africa. 14. Sudan. 15. Tanzania. 16. Uganda. 17. Zambia. 18. Zimbabwe. Africa is saying, and I quote, "Enough is enough." Africa is demanding change through equality, and their ammunition is history, the blood of their ancestors, and the assassinations of their African leaders who stood up to end these unfair treatments, and the unity of the 54 countries of the continent of Africa. It's time for Africa to unite, and here's how. In the words of Professor P.L.O. Lumumba, by confirming: 1. Africa, 1 leader, 1 army, 1 flag, 1 language, 1 passport, 1 currency, 1 central bank, and last but not least, 1 people called by 1 name: Africans. Until the next one.